Hi, welcome back to my channel, the Bag Makers Society. My name's Deb. Today's video is just a catch up of what's been going on in my sewing room and what I've been sewing this week. You'll see there's a couple of things sort of behind me to the side of me that I have made this week, so I thought I would show you and talk you through what I used in them. So this is the first thing that I made this week, which is an upgrader by Chris W Designs. This is a small version. It's not small, it's still a good size handbag. You might recognise the fabric from the video last week. I think that's possibly the quickest that I've ever bought fabric and sewn it up, or some of the quickest that I've ever bought fabric and sewn it up. But this is the denim in the vinyl that I bought from Abercorn when I was in Wales. And then this fabric you may recognise from a video a few weeks ago because I bought this at the Knitting and Stitching show in Ali Pali. So I was quite excited to get two fabrics sewn up that I've bought quite recently. I mean, there's still a huge stash of fabrics in the cupboard that I've had for like a ridiculous amount of time that I still really need to sew up. But I was pleased that I didn't just put these in the cupboard and then be like, oh, I don't know what to make with them. So this upgrader I wanted to make because we're going to be sewing this as part of the weekly sew alongs in the club, and I wanted to make sure that all of the instructions made sense in my head. So I always do like to have at least one run through, if not two run throughs, before we make a start. So it went together really well. It's pretty much the same on the front as the back, apart from this connector. I did make the mistake of having something on the TV that I was really engrossed in. So I did make a couple of mistakes, but it was me, not the pattern. I was just too engrossed in what I was watching on the telly, instead of just having something on in the background that I wasn't really paying attention to and paying attention to what I was doing or supposed to be doing. But I managed to work around it. It was all fine. But but all the hardware and interfacing and everything like that comes from my website. But this was Abercorn and this was Roy's World, I think, at the Knitting and Stitching show. But I'll show you the inside. So the inside's the same fabric. It's got a zipper pocket on the inside. But it's just so funky. I just love it. I have got an NCW cut out to make up to match this. I had just enough fabric left of this to cut out an NCW with some of this as an accent. So I think that's going to work perfectly. And an NCW is my favourite purse pattern. It's just the purse that I will always make to go with a bag. Usually the mini. I do like the mini NCW. And is this, I was thinking that this might be a present for somebody, but now I'm thinking I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be mine. So I need an NCW to go with it, because like I say, that's my purse of choice. So I need something to put all my bits and pieces in, for when I'm using this. So I've got a large cut out to do as the sew along. So I've done a little bit of prep work already on that, just to make the sew along one a little bit smoother. So the vinyl is the same vinyl, just in the different colour. This is the heather, and this cotton is from, I'm sure it's from a quilting shop up in Morpeth, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's just interfaced with a woven interfacing, and then obviously I've got foam basted in place. And then I'll just show you, like, sort of next to it, one of the pattern pieces of the vinyl. So I think this is just going to look sort of so good when it's all finished and it all comes together. I am going to use brass hardware, the same as what's on that bag, mainly because brass is my favourite finish of hardware. I just love it. But when I put the different hardware, I've sort of put different colours against this, and the brass just looked the best, or I thought it looked the best. So I will probably cut out another NCW in this fabric, because I think, again, I've got just enough to make an NCW out of this cotton with this vinyl as an accent. So, and then I'll probably make them up at the same time, because I can make NCWs up fairly quickly. They don't take me a lot of time now because I've made that many of them. So they're kind of the two big projects that I've had going on this week. I did make another couple of projects out of the same vinyl. So these are Wanderer wallets. They come from Moments by Liz, and they're out of the So Modern pattern bundle, the same as this pattern was as well. So I'm trying to be really good and work my way through some of the patterns that I've got. I've got a huge stash of patterns, as well as a huge stash of fabric, and I do need to work my way through some of my patterns, because I find I make a pattern and I really like it, and then I usually, you know, I'll make changes, and you know, I'll tweak things, and then I'll just continue to make that in various incarnations, different fabrics and what have you, and I get a little bit in my comfort zone. So I need to start pushing myself out of my comfort zone and tackling some of the huge amount of patterns that I have in my stash. So these were in that So Modern pattern bundle. So I've made two of them, one in this fabric and one in the other fabric. These are the raw edge versions. This is the first one I made. This one I have stitched shut on the top. The pattern says obviously you can stitch it shut or not, but I did on this one. This is obviously sort of like the pointed version, and then it has a little coin pouch as well. I actually, on both of the versions, cut out a second piece for the flap part of this, just to cover the inside of this part, and just to give a little bit extra strength to these poppers, and that worked really well. And then I'll show you the other one. So this is the one in the heather. I've done this in the rounded version, and I did exactly the same on that coin pouch as well. I cut out a piece the same as the flap and just put it wrong sides together when I top stitched it, like I say, just to give a little bit extra strength to them poppers, and just because I preferred the look of not having the inside of the vinyl showing on this bit of flap. The inside of this vinyl is quite nice. It's not, you know, some vinyls are a little bit not very nice on the inside. This one's quite nice because it's sort of like a black, like, and it's got like a nice feel to it, so it doesn't feel awful. And I left the inside of this one open. I didn't stitch it shut. Try and say that, it's really hard. So obviously you've got a place for your receipts, notes. I mean, for me it's receipts because I just pay for everything on card, and then I end up with lots of bits of paper, so that's quite handy to have. And then I don't know if you can see, hopefully you can, the way the card slots go in, it's like a zigzag effect, and I just think it's good. I just love it. It goes together really quite quickly. I think it probably took me longer to cut out than stitch, especially after I'd done the first one. When I did the second one, it went together like really quickly. So I'm going to make another one because there's like 3 versions of these, like different flap shapes. So I'm going to make another one to sort of have a trio, because why not? So you might see that in the coming weeks as well. But hopefully I'll have the NCWs to be able to share with you next week. And I should say an NCW is a necessary clutch wallet for those people who haven't come across that pattern before. I always do abbreviate it, so sorry. But that's a necessary clutch wallet by Emmeline Bag. So hopefully I will have them to share with you next week. You might see these here. I made a couple of pouches this week. They were part of a zipper masterclass that I had in the club this week. They just were two very simple pouches, but the point of them being was to show techniques to get, nice clean zips into your bags, and obviously showing different ways of finishing the ends of zips. But I just love these fabrics, which is why I thought I would share them with you. These I got from the Gold Hawk Road, possibly last year. How bad's that? I have used them a few times, so these are sort of scrappy bits that were needing to be used up. But I'm pretty sure this is like a Dutch design or a Dutch company. But I just love them. They're so vintage looking. Like, they're just so unique. I love them. But I made them up this week as well. So other exciting things that's happened this week is the channel hit 6,000 subscribers this week, and I'm absolutely blown away by the fact that like 6,000 people have subscribed to my channel. So thank you so much. If you're watching this and you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Like, it really does mean the world. Like, I can't tell you how much. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. Every like, every subscription that a small channel like mine gets really does help. Like, it really does make a difference. So thank you, like, from the bottom of my heart. Like, yeah, I was like made up to hit that milestone this week. And then podcast this week, we had the lovely Amanda on from Chameleon & Co. We had a lovely chat about how she's gone from sort of making bags as a hobby to selling her bags and taking custom orders. Yeah, so we had a lovely chat on the podcast. So if you haven't watched any of the podcasts before, or you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go onto my homepage, you will see there is a podcast sort of playlist. They are all in there, and I have different people on each week from every sort of corner of the bag making community, from pattern designers to small business owners to people who have just started bag making and just discovered bag making. And that's the beauty of it. I love talking to people who are at all different levels in their bag making journey and finding out about how they got into bag making and what it is that they love about it, and if they do other things as well, how it complements and stuff. And I mean, basically, I'm just really nosy and I just love chatting to people. So yeah, chatting to Amanda was really fun, and I did really enjoy it. So I've had a really busy week. It's one of those weeks where, I mean, I know I've made a couple of hacks, but it's one of those weeks where I feel like I've been really busy because I've had a lot going on, but then I don't actually know what I've done. But there has been a lot going on inside the club with the club members, who I should say a big thank you to, because without their support, and the YouTube channel members, their support as well, I wouldn't be able to make videos like this. So I am extremely grateful. So thank you very much. So hopefully next week I'll be able to bring you lots more exciting makes that I have done. If I haven't made any makes, maybe I'll have some exciting plans. Who knows? I am hoping to be much better and getting regular vlog style videos out of just what I'm making in my sewing room. So I hope you've enjoyed me sharing my upgrader, my 2 Wanderer wallets, my 2 little pouches, and my plans for my NCW. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do give it a like, and you can watch more videos here.